What is the worst reason someone has used to reject you? She was into really fat dudes, and I was only kinda fat. I like you too much. I look at you and think what an amazing mother you would be to our kids, and I don't want to be with someone I like that much. Edit. This had 7 upvotes before I went to bed. Thanks for all the commiserations. This was 15-ish years ago, so even though it took a while to get over, it's all good now. Turns out he was right. I am a good wife and mother, just not with him. My roommate's cat is really sick and needs to go to the vet. Can you take me home? I've got the only car in the house. 1 week later. Hey, how's the cat doing? What cat? If you're gonna lie, at least remember it for a week. When I was 14, my best friend wrote me a 2-page breakup letter. In the letter she explained that she needed to improve her social standing, and that she couldn't do that and still be associated with me. She outlined her 14-step plan to become popular, and apparently step 3 was to cut ties with all her unpopular or weird friends. I only read a few lines before I gave it back and told her she was a moron, that it was a stupid plan, and that she could do all that and still be unpopular. She just smiled sadly and wished me well in life, unfriended me from everything, and refused to even look at me for 2 months. Well, eventually she realized her plan was bullshit, and that her relationship with the popular kids actually got worse because of it, sort of like the end half of Mean Girls, and came crawling back. I like to think I handled that whole situation with maturity and grace, but it really messed me up for a while, and it's still one of the most hurtful things a person has ever done to me. Edit. So she's still my best friend and I love her very much. Everybody does mean shit when they're kids. I did some pretty hurtful stuff to her as well during school. We're adults now and we understand that there's more important shit than being popular. She's one of the greatest things in my life, and I'm lucky to have her. She still writes me 2-page letters, and her handwriting is tiny. Also, what the fuck is up with all these teen girls writing breakup letters to their friends? We can't have all been that fucking dramatic. I'm really into you, but I still think I want to be with my boyfriend for a few more months, but when he goes back to Pennsylvania, we can start going out. Bitch, I'm not a TV dinner. You can't pop me in the freezer and think I'll be ready to heat up when you're ready for me. Didn't get asked out on a second date in college because my FP was too high. FP equals fat potential. I have lupus, and the guy said I don't want you to die before I do. He then proceeded to go for the crackhead with multiple DUIs. I felt like I was with a child because I have dwarfism. I don't blame her at all for feeling that way, and it's a totally justified reason to not feel attraction towards me, but fuck did that do a number on my self-esteem. Edit. I'm 4 feet tall and I have achondroplasia, the same disproportionate form as Peter Dinklage. I don't speak English with a French accent, so I wasn't as exotic as they thought I would be. English isn't my first language, but neither is French, so I was quite confused. Edit. Spelling, edit 2. Holy shit, this blew up. I'll try my best to respond to people, but to clear up a few things. My first language is Finnish, but speak both English and French fluently, as I grew up in a French-speaking countries, but did half of my schooling in English. BC I went to an international school. You can see how this would add to my confusion, hahaha. My parents found out you're black. Hangs up. Edit. I was in 9th grade when this happened. We had been talking on the phone and texting for half of that year before he dropped this bomb on me. I ended up moving away, further south, and he called me out of the blue, once we both moved out of our parents' house and into college dorms. Stupid me was reasoning with myself maybe moving out has broadened his horizons. Not even 2 minutes into the call he began laughing, asking why I sound like a black girl, and started mocking me. I've always received the exact opposite response. Wow, you talk so proper. Or you sound like a white girl. So yes, indeed, they did me a favor, but it hurt nonetheless. This was in 2012. I don't like girls that play RPG, says the lifelong RPG nerd. High school girlfriend broke up with me after 2 years, saying it was God's will we break up. I got the privilege of being the see if I could do this relationship after a divorce. After doing the whole meet the family, talk about moving in, blah blah blah. Go out to dinner one night, they dropped to the effect of thanks for giving me the confidence to know that I can put myself out there again. As they explained it, they just needed to know if they could even go through the motions of a relationship. A guy who brought me to a coffee shop under the guise of a date and broke it off after we'd sat there for an hour talking about a movie he suggested I watch and told me he didn't think I could handle his anxiety. Turns out his anxiety was really another girl he was dating at the same time as me. I'd have just preferred the truth. Chick told me she couldn't date someone with as serious mommy issues as I did. My mommy issues was that she had died 2 months earlier. Edit. I didn't expect to get so many likes posting on a 6-hour-old post. I wanted it to be buried low. Let it too. I meant upvotes. I'm tired. It's almost 2 a.m. Straight up told I was ugly. Edit. Somebody asked me for a picture of me, and I delivered https://imgur.com/fmtilda. Edit 2. I'm a dude. Some of you thought I was a chick and messaged me. Now. I just don't want to be in a relationship right now. Then a week later she's dating someone else. Just tell me the truth that you don't want to date me. Hurts a lot less than being lied to like that. No reason given. Just ghosted me. Man the fuck up, Josh. My ex would cancel plans at the last minute and explain in great detail it was so that I'd be disappointed, which would make her feel guilty, which would in turn make the guilt a form of self-punishment for disappointing me in the first place, and also so that we wouldn't do the thing she wanted to do, which would make her disappointed by that fact, as a further form of self-punishment for causing the disappointment, all of which would mean that I had inflicted negative emotions on her, i.e. the guilt and disappointment, so that she could be angry about the whole thing. Mercifully, that particular relationship didn't last too long. Apparently I cared too much, and it just wasn't fair to him that he couldn't possibly care as much about me as I did for him. Fucked me up a bit, because that's just how I am. But whatever. I care about people and I'm sorry you were threatened by that. I like you. I just can't handle your gay side after she had outed me to my entire high school for being bi. She broke up with me after. Sorry, I only like tall boys. Is 6'1" not tall enough for you? His exact words, I would date you, but I don't want my friends making fun of me for dating a fat chick. Years later and I think of this every time I look in the mirror. Edit. Me and the guy were hooking up at the time. I had zero intention of dating him as he was 2 years younger than me, and did not give any indication that I wanted to date, which made the statement confusing. 4 years later and the guy still saved my number and Snapchat. He hits me up when he's in town to hook up. I always say no. Last time he texted me was last week. What makes it gross is he has a GF and tries to cheat on her any chance he gets. I blocked his number and Snapchat, creeped out because he still thinks of me. Because you rejected me a few months ago, and even though I still like you, it's my turn to reject you. Went out with a girl on 3 dates, just her and I, only to be told, I thought you were just being friendly. You're a great woman and I know you'll make someone the happiest man on earth someday, but I also know that man is not me. He wised up, we'll have been married 13 years this September. I heard your family is full of pieces of shit. I am fat and at best a 6 when I clean up nice, so I can get past any comments on my looks. Everyone has their own tastes. Sucks, but whatever. However, being turned down because of my shit family, that I in no way acted like or resembled, still hurt, because I had no control over it. I was told you're too jovial. In first grade my crush was asking around if someone could tie his shoes because I guess he didn't know how to. Me wanting to tie his shoes and maybe talk to him, said I'll tie your shoes. And then he just said these shoes are a different tie. One stupid reason and one broken-hearted 6-year-old. I didn't get a reason. Got ghosted and then found out through a mutual friend that he began dating another girl. He was an abusive asshole though, so in the end, he did me a solid. This was a 6 years relationship. BTW lol. A girl I liked quite a bit turned me down for a second date after the first one went pretty well. I asked her why and she didn't really answer the question. I found out later through a mutual friend that it was because I was the same height as her and she wanted to date someone taller. I'm 5'9". I was above their league. I literally tried asking them out 3 times and was in love, but apparently I was too good for them. Edit. Thank you for all the love, it honestly hurt a lot, and I was heartbroken for a bit, but I focused on self-love and got through it. I hope y'all avoid those people. We're together nearly 2 years and things were, I thought, going great when out of the blue she breaks up, giving me the reason that she thought things were getting too serious and might lead to marriage, and it concerned her that I wasn't Christian. Let me mention that in all the time we were together, she never went to church. I never witnessed her praying or even saying anything to indicate that she might be religious in any way. I later found out from a friend in common that she eventually hooked up with a very Christian guy who didn't believe in a man going down on a woman, but he expected oral from her. She was complaining to the friend that she missed my skills in that department. I'm generally not a petty person, but I will admit I felt very vindicated when I heard that. Finally, something I can answer. I had a girl reject me, say, "I can't date you because what if we go on a date to somewhere with stairs? I'm in a wheelchair." No. You. 3 years after, when puberty hit hard, she was asking for me to go to prom with her, so I took her cousin. Individual A, sorry, Cubic Unicorn, I'm not really in a good place to date anyone right now. 1 week later, mutual friend. Cubic Unicorn, did you hear that Individual A has been dating Individual B for the last week? You are too smart to be a musician. Time to sort by controversial. I was apparently too nice. We just aren't compatible. You like pineapple on your pizza. I can't be with someone like that. Told me she's always on the go. What the hell does that even mean? You go to the same school as me. Where are you going? I have a friend that asked her crush to prom, and he said nah, I have better things to do. She came up with an elaborate idea too. It was really sad. She had a really nice house, but she was upset that my house was bigger. A different woman was upset because I did not hang the toilet paper the right way. I never pay attention to the way it is hung, it just happened to be the wrong way that particular day. After I saw her reaction, I did not bother to explain myself. He told me it was weird dating someone so much younger, especially since I was just 1 year older than his little brother. This was lame, because he was only 2 years older than me. We were in high school. It was also a lie, because he later dated my best friend who was admittedly older than me. But only by 10 hours and 2 minutes, we had the same exact birthday. Rumors that I had slept with 68 girls since I was the pretty boy of high school. Truth is I've only slept with 4 women, still no one believes me, so I guess I'll start embracing it. I'm 24 now. Girl I was dating for 2 months spent said 2 months telling me how amazing I was, how unique I was, and that she cared more for me than she thought possible for the amount of time we'd been dating. Dumped me because she wanted to date multiple people and experience dating in general, rather than staying with one guy who cares about her. Still feels bad, man. I don't want you in my life. It did not hurt as much as it should have, because I had known for quite a while back then that everything was just big fucking mess. Me, hey, do you wanna go to the movies sometime? Her, you, who's coming? Me, I was just thinking it could just be us. Her equals 1 min. Her, she blocked me, I got kicked out of our friend group, and she didn't say a word to me for 2 years. So yeah, that's my story. I was too wealthy. I knew this guy didn't have as much money as me, and he was a single dad. I paid for a lot of the more expensive dates, or at least paid for my half. I'd only let him pay for cheap dates. That affected his male ego, so he dumped me because he said I'll eventually leave him for a man that can take care of me. I am a dainty eater. Apparently a real man eats a burger and fries. My date thought it unmasculine I order fries a la carte. Dude said he didn't date Asian chicks. A year later, Hess dating an Asian chick. Worst thing for my self-confidence, lol. I wasn't gay or bi, I'm a straight guy. She was a straight girl. I have 2 from 2 separate guys I dated. They are not rejections, but breakups. The first was you're always early on dates hangouts, and it makes me feel insecure, come off as a bad person for not coming early. Yes, I know, very stupid. The second guy dropped the usual I'm an asshole, and you deserve better, so I want you to find someone else. Boy, do I wish if someone would break up with me honestly without lying. Mostly my weight, which is totally understandable, but there's a way to say it and not be rude. In the past, I used to get guys matching me to just make fun of me. People can be cruel.